Hi friends, it's Ashley coming to you guys with another pregnancy update. Now, anything look familiar? I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing, which is my pregnancy updates from work. And I know that I've promised you guys that I would start doing them from home with much more quality, but it's just been so hard because when I go home, I'm so tired after being at work all day, and on the weekends I have so much to do, or even when I don't have much to do, I just want to sleep or relax or chill, and it just takes so much for me to get out of bed and get dressed and be productive. I guess that's a symptom. I don't know, maybe. Sorry, I'm drinking ginger ale. I think it's healthy. Maybe not. Who knows? But anyways, I've written down everything I want to talk about with you guys today. And without further ado, let's get to it. So, according to my apps, first of all, let me tell you guys what apps I use. I think I use 4 or 5. I use the What to Expect app, the Baby Bump app, the My Pregnancy app that is by Baby Center, the Sprout app, which I really like because of the image that it gives you each week of your baby, and you touch on each dot and it shows you like different things or different developments that the baby is having that week. I just really like that app. And then also the WebMD app, which is becoming my favorite because when you scroll it over and you look at the toolbar, it has absolutely everything that you'll ever need. It gives you the option to write down everything for your doctor and your appointments. It gives you checklists of like the things you'll need when baby arrives, your hospital bag. It's just a very detailed app, and I do recommend that one. I recommend all of them, but I think that's the one that's the most helpful, like if you really want to record your pregnancy and keep up to date with what's going on. Again, I keep looking here instead of here, bear with me. Other than that, according to my apps, it says that for week 25, my baby Diamond was 1.5 pounds. Now, the last time that we've gotten an ultrasound and he was weighed was at 19 weeks. We do have one coming up soon, which hopefully he's, still developing ahead. But back then he was developing, I think it was like, he measured 5 days ahead. So if that is still the case, that's still the case. But according to the app, he should be at least 1.5 pounds, 9 inches long, and he was the size of a squash. Things that happened with him that week were, and this was last week, by the way. I'm 26 weeks now, so I'll do 26 weeks at the end of this week, so I can tell you the symptoms of what I went through in the actual 26th week. But in the 25th week, supposedly, his lungs developed. They're not completely developed, but they did a lot of progression. His nostrils opened up for the first time. Not that he can really smell anything. And his vocal cords are actually ready. What else? Then the Sprout app told me that his nails and his toenails are forming, which is really cool. He can wiggle his fingers and his toes officially. And also one thing that was really cool is that we finally reached our 100-day mark for 100 days left until I meet my little boy. The first day of 25 weeks, which was a Tuesday, we had our first doctor's appointment with the new doctor that we started to see. That was a really good experience. I don't know if I told you last week or not, pregnancy brain, but I really disliked the doctor that I've had from the beginning. I can tell you now, I was being shallow, and I live in LA. If you're from LA, then you know Cedars-Sinai is where it's at, where everyone wants to deliver their child. So for me, it's always been like, I'm gonna have my baby delivered at Cedars-Sinai, blah blah. And so that was one of the reasons why I like that doctor, because he for sure delivered there. But I'm more worried about a healthy baby and feeling secure with the doctor that's going to be delivering him and circumcising him, and just knowing that along this process that a doctor is going to make sure that I'm healthy, my baby's healthy, and he's following up and he's doing what he's supposed to do. And that's more important to me now. So I did tons of research, tons and tons and tons. I literally went through his Yelp and I looked at everybody's comments, and after my baby is born, if everything goes well and, you know, I still like him the way I like him now, I definitely will recommend him to you guys, and I will tell you who he is. In the meantime, you know, I won't, just for, you know, I want to be able to tell you guys, like, when I'm in the hospital, when I'm delivering, and for safety reasons, I don't want to be like, yeah, this is my doctor, and then you will know what hospital he delivers at, and so forth and so on. But to say the least, I really like the experience. First of all, going into the doctor's office, they take all your information when you're a first-time patient, like all the paperwork and the waivers and everything that you have to sign. It was really cool because the nurse asked me to take a picture for my profile. Also, they asked for the pharmacy that I would like to choose, and that way it's very convenient because when you need prescriptions, all they do is they send it to the pharmacy of your choice, which they already have on file. Once it's there, the pharmacy will call you and tell you that it's ready for pickup, which saves so much time. If you've ever had a prescription before, you have to go in, get the prescription, they say come back in an hour or two, and it's just too much. So I really like that. Before we even left, the nurses emailed me a link to their website, and on their website I have a login and all of that, and that's where I can see all of my prescriptions, all of my chart, like everything is there. And to me, that is the most comforting thing. I can send them requests for refills. I can just do everything from online, and to me that feels really good. Like I feel like I'm in good hands. What else? When we first met the actual doctor himself, he came into the room. Well, first they took my blood pressure and they did all that stuff. When the doctor came into the room, they had me undressed since it was my first time meeting him, and they took my what was it? They told me to disrobe or undress and put on their, you know, the hospital paper gown things. And when he came in, I just really liked him. He shook our hands, he talked to us, he introduced himself, he asked us, you know, to take our time and tell everything that's been happening with the baby, all of our concerns, all of our questions. He was concerned as to why we left our old doctor, and, you know, he wants to know if it was a girl or a boy already. Just everything that a doctor should want to know, he did. And whether it's genuine or not, it felt like it, and that's good enough for me. From there, he did a vaginal exam. I did the P test before even meeting him, but from there he did a vaginal exam, he did a breast exam, he measured the baby, he, you know, felt the baby, he did a ultrasound on the baby. The machine at his office, I will say, it's the general regular, like old school 2D, so he was able to show the heartbeat, but we couldn't hear it. What else did we do? He checked the brain and he measured the baby, and the baby was at 25 weeks, which is, you know, technically what he was, or what he is, because my original due date was already May 13th. So baby, you know, looked good, his heartbeat was good, everything looked good, and he gave us 3 pictures from the ultrasound. I don't know, I'm rambling about the doctor's appointment, but I just really liked him. What else happened? Oh yeah, so at the old doctor, one thing that I did not like from research is that a lot of people say that when they have a doctor, the original due date, which is the first day of your last period, or basically the first day of your last period determines your due date. And if baby is on track via ultrasound with that date, then they keep that as your due date. What I did not like about my old doctor was that whenever I had a due date or an ultrasound, he would change my due date. So my due date went from being originally May 13th to May 8th to May 11th to May 6th. It just seemed like every time we had an ultrasound, the due date would change. And this doctor explained to me that the only way that they would change the due date is if it's like a significant difference in the ultrasound of his size, like 2 weeks ahead or behind or whatever. That's the only way. So according to him, my original due date would be May 13th, but the baby measures at May 12th, which sounds about right to me. So I changed all my apps and everything, and I put in that he's officially due May 12th, which means that my weeks turn over on Tuesday. So from this point forward, you'll always get a video from me Tuesday or Wednesday talking about the week that just passed. He set up my glucose test appointment, which will be next week, February 10th. Let's talk about the baby. The baby has always been active, but more so active at night. So last Thursday to Sunday, he literally moved like nonstop. Like, I can honestly say that no more than an hour, if I'm lucky 2 hours, would go by of peace before he's back moving. And when he's moving, he's moving, he's moving. I can officially tell the difference between if it's a punch or a kick, because obviously a punch is a little bit lighter. I can tell the difference if it's a hiccup, because instead of it being just an actual like punch or like a tap, it's more like a jerk, and it feels like he has the hiccups. And then also something new that I never really distinguished before was I don't know what it's called, if it's even called a roll, but it just feels like I can feel him moving and rolling inside of my stomach, which is really, really cool. Daddy has felt all these things, but he has not as felt it as intense as I feel it. Obviously, he's not in my body, but it seems that because he has big hands, when he puts his hand on my belly, he usually uses too much pressure, and it makes baby move back, and he'll stop. So I haven't tried the flashlight test yet, which I want to do. I want to go buy a flashlight and try that this week. What else, a baby? Like I said, a lot of movement, much more. I have not started tracking with the kid counter yet, just because I've heard that people say that you shouldn't do that until about 28 weeks, third trimester, when it should be a lot more consistent. What else? For me, my symptoms were, my stomach is a lot more itchy. I wish I could show you guys. Well, actually, I'll show you. Well, no, I won't. It's too much. But my stomach is a lot more itchy this week. My belly popped probably 24 weeks, where it officially became pronounced. And since then, it's just been itchy. And I've been doing my best to not scratch, not scratch, not tear the skin, or not cause or trigger more stretch marks than I may or may not get. I have not gotten any stretch marks yet. I do have a few on my sides from like middle school, when I went from being like really, really skinny to, you know, the change of life and hormones and eating different and puberty or whatever you want to call it. And I have a few that are the same color as my skin on my sides. They're not as pronounced, but they're there. But with this baby, I have not, the light went off. This baby, I have not gotten any more. I've told you guys already that I do expect to get them because my mother did have them, but I do still keep my belly moisturized. I've slacked a lot. I don't moisturize twice a day, or I have not been, but because my belly is pronounced now, I do want to start this week making sure that I do at least twice, if not 3 times a day, moisturizing my belly and my sides and my butt and like my inner thighs, just to not prevent, because from what I hear you can't prevent them, but more than anything to make sure they don't get out of control. And sometimes when my belly itches, to take some cocoa butter or some shea butter and to rub my belly kind of helps to subside that sensation to scratch. in clothes, I don't know if you can see it now, but you probably can't, but a lot of the times my belly is starting to look like an outie. When I do my next update, 26 weeks, I'll start to show you guys my belly. But I have the linea negra, and then I used to have my belly pierced, and because my belly was pierced, the piercing has moved up, and you can see that my innie is starting to become an outie. It's not officially there, but sometimes in shirts it looks like a little lump there, as if I have an outie already. So that's different. I waddle a little bit, like from the behind. You can kind of tell I'm pregnant because of the way I walk. More specifically, sorry about that. More specifically, when my stomach is tight, my stomach is more tight when I'm full, or when my body's a little bit more stiff, I'll tend to waddle just a little bit more. I officially cannot reach my toes. Now, like if I drop something, I have to like open my legs and squat like that to get it. I can't just bend over anymore. And I tried to paint my toes last weekend, and I had to like sit in a chair, set up another chair, and prop it, and kind of like reach really hard to paint my toes, and it was a struggle. So I officially just have to start getting pedicures, because I don't really like pedicures. I don't know why, but I just always feel like after I get a pedicure, my feet at the bottom are more rough than they are naturally, and I just don't like that. But I will if need be. What else? The more sleep I get lately, the more tired I am. So like if I don't sleep all night and I get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, I'm more active and alert the next day than if I got 9 hours of sleep. My only craving this week was extreme ice craving. Like I crave ice. Like I've never had a craving in my entire life. Like I crave ice, and it's so weird. But that's been my only craving. I eat it. I'll fill up an ice tray at work, and I'll eat the whole thing in a day and still go home and eat ice out of our ice maker or from whatever restaurant we go to. And that's it. I had 10% battery, so I know I'm probably rushing, but I don't want my phone to die before this video ends. But that is the conclusion of this video. I'll try to insert some pictures from week 25 if I can. Coming up next is, like I said, is the glucose test and a breastfeeding class that I have at the end of this month. Again, you'll start getting these videos from me every Wednesday, and from there I'll show you guys like what I'm eating. I'll show you guys what products I'm using on my body. I'll show you guys my belly shots and everything else. But until next week, I love you guys. Thank you for watching and tuning in. A quick outfit of the day. I have on this dress. It's not a maternity. I got it from Ross for like 12 bucks. It's a maxi dress. It's cold in my office always, so I have on some gray leggings under, which you can't see. Gucci sandals, and I have on my maternity bra. Oh, I bought my first maternity bra that actually is a clip-on, clip-off maternity bra. I have this gold necklace, Tiffany bracelet, H&M ring, ring from my boyfriend, and my Tiffany ring. And that'll be it for today, you guys. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.